Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. Today we are going to discuss previous year's SNAP paper, its analysis and what the trend has been for the SNAP exams. Okay, we will be taking up the last 3 years and then we are going to predict what is going to happen this year. We are also going to look into the level of questions, what was the difficulty level, and we will solve some sample questions. Okay. Yeah. Hi everyone. Hi Varun. Hi Kurat. So, what about this year's SNAP? So, the registration of SNAP has begun since August 4th. Okay. The registration is going to close on 24th of November and the payment will close on the same day. Okay. The admit card will go live in 2 parts. It's going to be December 5th for the first SNAP test and there is going to be December 10th for the second and third simultaneously. There are going to be 3 slots this year, just like the last year. So the first slot is on 10th, the next one is on 18th and the third one is on the 23rd of December. The timing is fixed, is 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. That means the exam is of only 1 hour, right? And the result will be announced most probably by 10th of January. So it's a computer based test, CBDT, that's what we call it. So what they have mentioned specifically is a candidate can appear for up to 3 tests for SNAP 2022, which is very different from last year. In the last year, you can appear for max 2 and the best out of the 2 were taken into account. This year, SNAP is allowing you to take all the 3 tests and the best score will be considered automatically. Okay, you don't have to specify that you want the second test or the first test mark. Automatically the best test score will be taken. This is very similar to how NMAT used to do. NMAT still does for the other colleges except for NMIMS. So if a candidate appears for more than 1 test, the higher score will be considered for the final percentile calculation and there will be no normalization. No normalization means you cannot argue that in the first test the paper was easy but you scored lesser marks. In the second test the paper was more difficult but you scored a higher marks. So comparing to that, in comparison with that, so let's make the paper normalized as in the score should increase for you. No, it's not going to happen. Okay, so that normalization is not going to happen. The normalization, they have mentioned that a rigorous process that has been statistically tested will be administered to ensure the unique types of questions are framed under a specific topic across the question papers. The normal spread will ensure that there is no unfair advantage of the spread of questions across sections for any test or multiple tests. This will ensure normalization of the spread of questions across sections automatically. So they're not going to force any other calculation for the normalization process. Furthermore, the question papers will be normalized for the level of difficulty across all the 3 tests. So this normalization is not the software normalization or your score fluctuation. No, this normalization means the kind of questions given in each of the sets, in each of the slots, even though the questions are going to be different mostly, but then still you will have same level of questions. So let's say if you get a question from time and work in your first slot, so you'll get a time and work question in the second slot. If you get it, the level of difficulty will be same. It's not that the first slot time and work question was an easy one and in the second slot it was a very difficult one. That's not going to happen. Okay, and they have mentioned that no correspondence regarding this will be entertained, as in you cannot actually file a motion or a PIL, or you cannot drop them an email and saying that please do the normalization. They will not at all entertain. So understand that part. Yeah, happy Navratri, Arthur. Now what is this year's pattern? So this year's pattern is exactly the same as the last year's. So there are going to be 3 sections overall. Okay, the first section is going to be general English, which includes reading comprehension, verbal reasoning and verbal ability. There are going to be 15 questions. For every correct answer you will be awarded 1 mark and that means total marks is 15 for this. For analytical and logical reasoning there are 25 questions. So this particular section has got the most weightage. Again you have got +1 for this for every correct answer, so that is 25 marks. And the third one is quantitative ability, that is QA. You have got data sufficiency and you have data interpretation. These all things are clubbed in one section. So that's 20 questions you will have from there, and you will be awarded 1 marks per correct answer. 20 marks total, right? So there is no sectional time limit. So you will be given an entire 1 hour. Okay, that is 60 minutes for these 60 questions. Okay, and it will be computer based test, and the test duration will be 60 minutes. Just like the last year. The only thing that has changed from the last year is, last year you were allowed to only participate in maximum 2 tests of SNAP, any 2 slots. This year you are allowed to take all the 3, and every time you are going to appear for a test, you have to pay the registration fees. Okay. Let's compare the last 3 years of SNAP tests, how they were. Arthur, the paper is a very easy one, the SNAP paper. So I believe if you can take 2 or 3 mocks initially just to have an idea as to what is the level of difficulty of paper, then you can practice more, as in practice more questions from the books or the sectional tests, topic tests, right? And then you can again appear for 2 more. So I believe 4 to 5 mocks is more than enough. You don't have to build strategy over here. All speed is the only concern here. Though 1 minute mein 1 question, we are generally not used to it. If you are preparing for CAT or let's say ZAT, you get on an average 2.5 to 3 minutes per question, which is a lot. So the level of difficulty is at a very different level for CAT and ZAT. But for SNAP, it's all about speed. And when you are in a hurry, when your speed is good, you have to make sure that whatever you are answering, it should be correct. See, there is negative marking this, very much different from NMAT, right? So negative marking would mean here that you have a 1/4 negative. So let's look into this. So in 2019, there was only 1 exam and there were 3 sections. The number of questions were 34, 36 and 40 here. Okay, it was 35 plus 5. 5 were some new type of questions. So it was based on general English, 34 questions were there, 36 were from analytical and logical reasoning as in LR and AR, and then 40 questions were quantitative DI and DS. You had 2 hours over there and the total marks was 150. There were not 150 questions. Actually, if you count the number of questions, this is a total of 110 only, right? But you had 120 minutes. There was no sectional time limit. The level of difficulty was moderate to weird. Moderate to weird means there were certain questions which will not make any sense. There were certain questions that there was no other way to solve it rather than going from the options. And sometimes options were also very weird. SNAP has been a weird exam if I ignore the last year. Until then, they used to give questions from anywhere, as in there had been a question from a WhatsApp forward. Okay, वैसे क्वेश्चंस देखे होंगे ना, if 2 is equal to 5, 3 is equal to 7, 8 is equal to 12, then what is 7 equal to? वैसे वाले questions, very weird questions, right? Not the level of difficulty of for a competitive exam that you could expect. So the marking scheme was 1.5 marks for your English and your LR and AR. And then Quant and DI, you had 2 types of questions. These 35 questions were plus 1 marks each. And these 5 questions were special questions which carried 2 marks each. And the negative marking was 1/4 of. Okay. The cutoff was around 85 plus. 85 plus out of 150 is going to be somewhere around, how much? It's going to be around 60%, right? Okay. In 2020, 2 years ago, there were 3 best out of 2, okay, and there were 3 sections, there were 3 slots, and there were 15 questions in English, there were 25 in LR and AR, there were 20 from quantitative DI and DS, 60 questions, no sectional time limit, plus 1 minus 2.25, 60 marks, easy to moderate, cutoff was 41, last year the cutoff was a little less. So the level of difficulty has definitely decreased. Why? Because you have got less time. 60 minutes में 60 questions करने, ठीक है? The number of questions have not changed in the past 2 years since there had been 60 questions. Ishan, you can take only 1 attempt also. If you think that your 1 attempt is good enough, then you can go ahead with it. You don't have to take the 2nd and the 3rd attempt. It's not compulsory. that if you have attempted one slot, then you have to go for the other two also. If you are confident that first slot score is good enough for you, don't appear for the next two. It's only for those people who think that their first exam did not go well, so they appear for the next one. Then the second slot also did not go so well, so they appear for the next one. It's for them. So as you can see, the cutoff is approximately 40 out of 60, right? I'm talking about SI, BM and SMHRD, around that. So this is almost 66%. 66% means out of every 3 questions, you have to make sure 2 are correct, which is a lot. In CAT and ZAT, we are like, आधा कर लो बहुत है, इधर नहीं चलेगा आधा पे. So you have to increase your speed, you have to practice a lot. And the level of difficulty is among the easiest of all the competitive exams in MBA that you have, right? So if I specifically talk about last year's SNAP, the 3 slots, the number of questions were consistent, 15, 15, 15, 25, 25, 25 and 20, 20, 20 across the 3 slots. Okay, total questions were fixed, 60. The marking scheme was exactly fixed. There was no change between the slots. But the level of difficulty of every section was little different. So of course, they're not going to normalize it. But as per their assumption, as per their conditions and as per their logic SNAP, they are like, we are fine that even if slot 3 verbal was a difficult one, we'll be like, we will award marks accordingly. So slot 1 and slot 2 verbal was easy. Slot 3, it was little moderate because there were a couple of, there was an RC based on Daffodil, if you will look into previous year analysis on our website. And there were some fill in the blanks questions that were a lot. So the number of fill in the blanks questions were more, okay, related to parts of speech and grammar. The reasoning part was easy to moderate in the first slot and it eventually became little more difficult. It was not like difficult, it was like relatively it became difficult. So SNAP is already LOD 1. Level of difficulty 1, whichever book you are following, whichever topic tests you are doing, right? Usme hota na beginner level, then you have got advanced level, then you have got expert level, alag levels hote. So this is beginner level to max advanced level. Advanced level as in LOD 2. Usse beyond nahi aata. Okay. And quant was difficult in the first slot and it was moderate or easy in the second and third. So as if you compare this throughout, you will find that slot 2 was relatively easier. So anyone who would have appeared directly for slot 2 would have made it easily. Somebody whose maths quant was weaker and had appeared only for slot 1, they would have definitely went for one more exam, right? So overall was moderate only. So what I meant to say, what I meant to explain over here is, it's not that the first slot, if English is easy, it's going to be easy throughout. So if you guys are going through the analysis of first slot, then second slot, don't assume that third slot में भी वही आना है, वैसे ही mentally prepare होके जाओगे. नहीं, it may change. So the level of difficulty of the 3 sections may interchange. So you have to be completely prepared about that. Yes, Varun, if you are already preparing for CAT and MAT, then SNAP, you don't have to actually do a lot. But in English, you will have to do a certain extent and a bit of reasoning. थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा करना पड़ेगा. For example, in SNAP, sometimes they give you visual reasoning, which is different, which generally doesn't come in NMAT. कभी-कभी NMAT में भी होता है. Then you have got, to calculate number of triangles, questions based on dice, or sequences and series and encoding, decoding, input, output, these all are there everywhere, right? So वो वाले questions थोड़े होते हैं. And in English, you have got more of grammar and parts of speech in SNAP as compared to NMAT, and CAT में तो होता भी नहीं है. But if you're talking about the level of difficulty, once you write one mock from SNAP, because SNAP has been giving out the paper until 2018. 2019 से जब से online हुआ exam, SNAP is like, I will not give you any paper. So they have not released their official question paper, so you will not find them online or any place. You will only find them memory based. So if you look into 2018 paper, the level of difficulty is same. It's same or it is little easier. वैसा हो गया, ठीक है? Binary logic based? No, they're not going to ask you such difficult binary logic and all that. No, Probir. There is no section where the level of difficulty is going to be high. We are saying it's difficult in quant because there were certain questions which took more than a minute, which will take, as in you will have to solve it properly. That's why snap ka ek section becomes difficult. A verbal section will become difficult because the kind of antonym, synonym, parts of speech they have asked, which will be not general scenario, as in it's not generally used in day-to-day life. It's something very different, very special scenario they may have asked. That's when it becomes moderate. And reasoning is generally easy to moderate in snap because they don't give you the level of cat ever. They'll give you very straightforward questions, encoding, decoding. You have got blood relations, you have got directions, you have got visual reasoning, you have got a bit of heights and distances related, you have got English based reasoning, right? ठीक है. So let's go through two questions of each of the sections. Okay, you have got English, you have got reasoning, and then you have got quant. Okay, so it's a mixed bunch. For example, this is the first question: which word does not belong with the others? So odd one out majorly, right? Parsley, basil, dill, and mayonnaise. So if you have used these herbs or things, you would have an idea. If you would have read about them, you will have an idea. You don't have to be a science student to know this. People who cook will have an idea what is happening, right? Probir, go through general day-to-day life, words that are used, antonyms, synonyms, how they are used in a sentence. If you look at previous year paper up to 2018, it will give you a very, very clear idea to what level you have to read. I believe 80% of the words you may have come across before. They are not difficult. So, of course, between these three, mayonnaise is it's a gel-based, it's a little liquid-based, topping that is used on pizza or some French dishes, French cuisine. While all of these three, these are herbs, and mayonnaise is not. These are naturally found, and mayonnaise is artificially made. So there are a lot of differences which you can figure it out. Which word does not belong with the others? Inch, ounce, centimeter, yard, right? This is also very straightforward. Even if you have no idea about ounce, which is not the SI unit, but inch, centimeter and yard, these are definitely used to measure lengths. Ounce is used to measure the volume, right? Now you have got a time and work question. A works twice as fast as B. If B can complete a work in 12 days independently, the number of days in which A and B can together finish the work it in. So every question in SNAP is going to be objective, as in you will have options. There is not going to be any theta question जहाँ type in करना होता है. There is no calculator also. Okay, you are not allowed to carry. There is no calculator. So they don't give you even very complicated calculations. So we know that A works twice as fast as B, and B can complete it in 12 days. That means A will finish it in 6 days. Now together they are going to take how many days? Don't have to solve it. A 6 days में करता है, B 12 days में करता है. If they both are going to work together, they are going to finish in less than 6 days. 4 days. All the other options are either 6 or more than 6. So you can use a lot of common sense and solve questions in 20 seconds, 30 seconds, so that you can save some time for those reasoning and RC questions. And RCs of SNAP, they are also very easy ones. Very easy language, very simple, very easy to understand. Next one is from a point on a level ground, the angle of elevation of the top of a tower is 30 degrees. If the tower is 100 meter high, so this is 100 meter high, and the angle of elevation to the top is 30 degrees. The distance of the point from the foot of the tower is, so it is a 30, 60, 90 wala right angle triangle, no? So 30 ke opposite, if you have whatever length, then opposite to 60 you have √3 times of that length. So you won't find root 3 over here, but root 3 is 1.732. That is something you should know. They have not given you that root 3 is 1.732. So 1.732 into 100 will take you to 173. That's the closest, right? Then you have a series 7, 10, 8, 11, 9, 12. What number should come next? So because the values are fluctuating, it is increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, and it's not consistent. So it has to do with alternate series, right? That's the only logic that we can come up with. So you have got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is a mixture of two series whose terms are written alternatively. So 7, 8, 9 के बाद अब तो बारी 10 की होगी भाई, right? You can see they are very easy, but you have to be confident. You have to be quick. Then you have got ZA5, Y4B, XC6, W3D. So there is a pattern. The pattern is, if you look at Z, Y, X, W, you can see that they are moving in the reverse alphabetical order, right? So W के पहले क्या आता है? That will help you eliminate some options. Then what about the other letter? You have got A, B, C, D. Now E should be there. You do have an E in all the three options. Then comes in what is the pattern within the word. So you have got two letters first, and then you have got a number. Then you have got a letter, number, and then a letter. Two letters first, then a number. Letter, number, and then letter. So ab bari hai two letters together and then a number. So we are left with C and D. Now how are these numbers related, as in 5, 4, 6, 3? What is happening with them? Alternate series 5, 6, it should be the turn for 7. You have got 4, 3, the next term should be 2. Next term as in the future term. So it should end in a 7, so D becomes your answer. If you ever come across a question where you have no idea how to begin or what to do, and if you have given it max 2 attempts, मतलब पहली बार try करा कुछ mistake, options did not match, then you went ahead and you tried again, that will itself take you more than a minute if you have attempted it twice, a particular question. दो बार में नहीं आता है, leave it. Okay. I would not suggest to make any random work or guesswork. If you are able to eliminate two of them, then it's a good work. Good way to randomly select one of the two options and move ahead, because it's a very, very scoring paper, and the cutoff is also generally high, right? Varsha, you can talk to one of our counselors. You can download our app, and you can ask them as to how many marks are you going to get in this snap and everything. They will help you out with it, right? So I believe you guys must have got an idea as to what is the level of difficulty of the paper, what kind of paper last year it was. It's going to follow the same suit. None of these sections in none of the slots will be where the level of difficulty is going to be difficult for a section. Nahi hone wala. And it doesn't matter which slot you choose. It's better that if you are done with this slot, the exam as soon as possible. ठीक है, ZAT के बाद अब snap की बारी है ना. So once you are done with the ZAT, you are already in that flow, right? CAT अभी दिया, ZAT दिया, snap दे दो. Okay, so that's all for snap. So we have brought you an open mock CAT 2022. Please register for this. The mock is going to start from 30th September, and it is going to be a 10-day window. You will be able to identify your CAT D-Day strategy, because if you are writing the mocks again and again, it will definitely help you out. This is an open mock. Okay, all you have to do is register. All the links are given in the description below. It is spammed in the chat as well, right? You can also see how experts attempt the mocks. You can also know your strengths and weaknesses, because topic wise we tell you as to this is the level of difficulty and how good you are at it. how much mistakes you have made in a section, right? You will also be getting the video solutions question wise. So please do register now as soon as possible. So we have started with previous year question discussion, okay, for this year's CAT, which is the name of the series is called I Am Bangalore PYQP series. So Bangalore has taken 2 years recent, if we talk about the last 2 decades. So Bangalore has taken the exam in 2007 and 2016. So we are going to look at what is the level of difficulty set by Bangalore, what has been the previous year's trends, what had been the questions that they have given us, okay? And it's going to start from 1st of October and it will be taken by someone who has scored at least 99 percentile in CAT for continuous years, okay? So one of our best faculties will be taking it. So please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will be notified the moment this series starts. It will help you a lot in understanding what is the level of difficulty of the paper that Bangalore sets and how you should be targeting. Also, we have started with our last lab to NMAT 2022 session. Okay, it's a complete revision in 15 days. This series started from 19th and it will go until 3rd of October every day at 3 p.m. So in the next 1.5 hours, you can come back to our channel and look into the different types and level of questions that are asked in NMAT, so that you don't have to revise, separately at home. You can do it with us together. People who are targeting CAT 2023, we have started a comprehensive batch for you. The batches have just begun, so you can join them as soon as possible, and the sooner you join, the more relaxed you are going to be. You will not have to spend like 10, 20 hours every day, right? So what all things do we provide? So you will be given a tablet, you will be given more than 135 live sessions, there will be more than 70 mock tests, CAT and non-CAT, both the exams together. You will have a lot of practice tests, sectionals, topic wise, all of that. The recorded sessions will be given to you, the notes of the faculty will be given to you, the GDPI and WAT preparation, we are going to help you with that. You don't have to pay or you don't have to enroll for that separately. So you will be given 12 sessions which will be recorded and 3 live sessions to help you prepare for the PI and GD. You will be also given book each of VRC, QA and LRDI. Okay, for the official one, Varsha, wait for them. They are going to, they will give you a link to that. Okay. The official mock they will provide. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe this video, and do follow us on Instagram, YouTube, definitely please do follow us there, and Facebook. And if you have got more queries related to exams and questions and level of difficulty of the paper, you can join our channel. And if you want to see more content like this, you can download our app, BYJU'S Exam Prep. The links are given in the description below. That's all for today. Thank you everyone. See you guys at 3 o'clock. Bye-bye.